We've looked at preferences and settings, and we're not quite out of the woods yet because there's one other area of macOS 10 where you need to do some configuration, and that's Mail. Now, you won't need to do configuration if you are upgrading from a previous version of macOS 10 where you had Mail installed, or if you're moving to a new computer and you've used the option to transfer settings via FireWire from the old computer. But if you're starting from scratch, here's what happens. Launch Mail, and you may be shown a group of options or dialogues that say, do you want to see what's new in Mail? But in this case, we're not seeing it because I've already run Mail once just to test it. And now we're ready to see what we're going to have in Mail. First of all, notice that there's an RSS news feed. This is the same kind of news feed that you can get from a website for headlines or whatever, and you have subscribed automatically by magic to a news feed called Apple Hot News, which comes from Apple. What's important here is for you to notice that the news feed is read in Mail. It can also be read in the browser, Safari, and in other browsers. So where you read news feeds is up to you. But here, if I go into that news feed, you will see that I've got a variety of stories here that will be updated over time. And if I want to read one of them, just as I would do for an email message, I select the story that I want to read, and I can see it here in the viewing window. You'll notice these blue dots, and they're the same for email as they are for newsfeed items. They indicate whether or not the message from the newsfeed or email has been read. Now, if I've marked this as read just by reading it, I can still change it, and I can mark it as unread, and the dot is back. Or I can also mark it as something to be flagged, and here's the flag, and what that means is I want to come back to it for one reason or another. I can sort messages based on whether or not I've read them. Now all the unread messages are at the bottom, and as always with this sort of interface, the reverse order of the sort changes if you click on it twice. Flags at the top, flags at the bottom. I can alphabetize them and so forth. What a lot of people, including me, do is to make the date received sort in reverse order so that I get the most recent messages first. This works the same for RSS feeds as it does for email. So thanks to Apple, I have that RSS feed installed, but I would like also to get some email and to be able to send email. Well, let's see how we do that.